Hello, Star Wars Unboxing fans. Welcome to another episode of Darth Tuba's Star Wars Unboxing Show. I'm your host, Darth Tuba, speaking with a more sinister voice because I'm doing something that many people would find offensive or upsetting, or the gatekeepers of the world don't like. And that is, I keep getting these messages, sorry. That is, I have a custom toy. A toy that is not mass-produced, but just done by an artisan who made several and sold them on either in an Etsy store or in an eBay place. And I understand that for some people that is a definite no-no, and I get that. And my answer to my response to anybody who has that complaint, you feel free to put something in the comments, but my response is going to be, thank you for watching. I appreciate your concern, but I also feel like, folks, you need to lighten up, okay? Why lighten up? Well, because we are in a situation where, Hasbro, I was just talking about this with my wife. I said Hasbro is in the business of selling toys to many different markets, not just collectors, but also children. And because Hasbro does that, they are not necessarily going to be doing what collectors want them to constantly do. And that's why collectors, particularly older collectors, sometimes seem to be very upset, very aggravated, very mad at Hasbro for the products that they're not producing, or the products that they are producing, which that they don't like the quality. Maybe they don't like the repacks or the repaints or whatever the case may be. Maybe they think it's too expensive when they do things like the HasLab projects, all that stuff. And there's all this conversation back and forth about unhappy fans, And Hasbro is a company, and they have to figure out ways to mass produce items that mass amounts of people are going to want to buy. And like it or not, collectors like me, we're not the huge market. We're just not. Even places like Sideshow and Hot Toys, they can't. They do create items for us to buy, but it's not something that they're flying off the shelves. So I do like to support, when there are local artisans who create what are essentially kind of retro style figures and toys. I'm all there. I'm there for it. Now, I will say that there have been times when I have purchased replica figures, like Blue Snaggletooth, for example. I have not purchased replica other figures. I own every figure. I even own a Blue Snaggletooth, by the way, the original, but it's got a little wonky head. So one person was selling a Blue Snaggletooth on a card, which never was released. So I got that. Why? Because I know it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist in the real world. So that's where I try to keep my collecting of custom items, things that don't exist, okay, in the real world. Another one I was collecting was the reproductions of the figures that were not released in the Droids Season 2 line, that kind of thing. I try not to buy figures that were actually released. I try to find, if I can find them loose or whatever, I will. But I try not to do that. So now I will tell a story. Once upon a time, I did partake, as many collectors that were into this did, from a site called The Fans Strike Back. I am not going to say much more about that site, except that I, like many others, were burned. We did not receive the items that we were asked about. And we were told that it's coming, but and it's been 5 years now and it hasn't happened. So I have given up on there were a few things that were sent my way, but that was it. I have given up on it. I understand the person's in a lot of lawsuits and everything else. I'm not going to take part in any of that. I just, I knew buyer beware when I first did it, and I play the long game when it comes to things. I realize that, for the vast majority of my, purchasing life as an adult collector, I have been pleasantly happy with the transactions that I have had with hundreds of eBay sellers and, dozens and dozens of dealers and toy shows and at Star Wars Celebration and other conventions. I've had nothing but pleasant experiences with all of them, save for maybe 2. All right, so to me, that's such a good track record that I can be forgiving. So one of the items that I was going to buy from this other place, Fan Strikes Back, was, in fact, the Bantha creature. which was done in the style of the other creatures that came out back in the 70s and 80s, like the Tauntaun or the Patrol Dewback, that type of thing. Never happened, never came. So I found another person online that did, in fact, make a Bantha, and I'm here to show you this now. Here we have the Bantha figure. Okay, action figures not included, but check out this box. Oh my goodness. It is, I mean, it's a little more glossy than what the boxes used to be. But then again, the boxes might have been this glossy back in the day. But this is just such a cool setup. It's got the box. It's got like great, you know, even, I think there's even like, I don't know who this young model actress is, but I appreciate that they put a young child on the box, because that was a big common 70s and 80s thing. We have, and the black was definitely a big part of it, but the Star Wars logo and the Bantha was a Star Wars A New Hope, before it was called A New Hope thing. So I would be happy with just the box, honestly. I've been into boxes lately. They have some photos from the movie, right? And a lot of it is a copy on either side, right? And then you have the playset thing. So there we go. Let's do an actual unboxing of this. Now, my only complaint I will say about the box is that they really did make this absolutely 100% as if it was a toy that was released, okay, in the 70s. I wish they made it a 99.999% accurate box. And I wish that the person who did this included their handle, their name, a QR code, something on the box to indicate that this was not a that this was a reproduction or a fan-made item. I say that both in the sense that that person deserves credit for this artisan piece, okay, which I do see this as a piece of art, and to avoid any kind of issues with, you know, people thinking that this was some original toy that they didn't even know about. So that's kind of where we are. But again, you know, and again, everybody has their reasons. So maybe there's something on the inside of the box. We'll see. So I'm going to, it even comes with inserts. So that's cool. All right. And kind of excited. Oh my God. This has got a lot of heft to this. This is very heavy. Holy cow. All right. There is your... Okay, it comes with a set of reins. Do I have a Tusken Raider here? I don't think I have a Tusken Raider easily accessible. So I'm going to put the reins on this bad boy. Oh, now here's a good question. Will this work? I don't know. I don't know. Okay, well, I'm going to say that the reins are a little bit weird. But I kind of remember this about, you know, the old Kenner toys too. They didn't always stay that well, you know. So I'm just going to kind of try to pinch them in there and see. And then hopefully if it does fall, it'll just fall on itself. So that's good. All right, so there you go. Now I'm going to just do a little straightening up here, okay, because I want to keep all this. Make sure I have it there. No name on this. Now, I'm a little embarrassed. I don't have the name of the person off the top of my head. What I will do is I will put the name on the screen so everybody knows who it is. And I'll even include in the description a link to his eBay store or a regular store, you know, that kind of thing. Just so if you are interested in that. Now, I do believe that he does like runs of these, so sometimes you have to wait a little bit. I ordered two things from him. I forget what the other thing was. It just came a few days ago, and I think it was another custom figure, and that came right away. But this needed some work. And I'm gonna put let's pretend for the moment that a stormtrooper, and I'm gonna use a vintage stormtrooper. Let's pretend that a stormtrooper. Oh, you know what? Hang on a second. Okay. I do have one. If you recall, anybody watches my channel, I had that space case that came with like 12 figures in it. I forgot. One of them was not only a Tusken Raider, but he even had his cloak, Tusken Raider. So really cool. Now, for those of you who don't remember this, the toys, the creatures that came out in the 70s and 80s, I know there was the Patrol Dewback, and I know there was a Tauntaun, and they had another Tauntaun with like the exposed belly that you could put a figure in, because that's how Han saved Luke. I'm trying to think if there were any more. I don't think so. I think it was just those two that had the special feature where there was a little spring-loaded action where you would put the figure and you would just kind of insert it, because these figures, the legs don't bend. You can't straddle the thing, so you're just supposed to take it and just boop, stick it in. Now this does complicate things. Let me see. Yeah, it does complicate things a little bit. All right, I'm gonna hold off on this for a minute because his vinyl cape, I have to kind of wrap it around him a little bit so that it goes in too. Otherwise, it just kind of sticks out. So there we go. All right. So this guy is gonna stay. And he kind of was able to hold the reins. So let me just get that set up there. Oh, that's so much better. Yeah, there we go. There he is. How awesome is that? Oh my God, that's fantastic. I love it. Legs move a little bit, right? The tail does not, but it serves as a good handle, and the face is pretty much. Oh, it's got that plasticky feel. I mean, at first I thought I was expecting like a very light, almost 3D printed thing. This is not that. This has definitely got some heft to it, and the saddle does look like it could come off if you want, so you could ride it bareback if you want. But they included a hole in the saddle, so you could just put him right in, and there he is, moving along. I love it. Going across. They don't move that fast, but that's all. Fantastic. Did a great job. As I said, I will put his name in the description or in the on the screen, so you can clearly know where to order, who to order from. Such a fantastic toy, and again, never made by Kenner. Kenner never did it. I mean, there have been some Hasbro later ones that are a little more realistic in that they had like fur and everything. And they're great. I love them. And they have the Tusken Raiders have the bendable knees, so you can like have it actually straddle it the right way instead of this, which is kind of a fake looking thing that kind of you would have to literally impale the animal, which would kill it. So obviously that doesn't make sense in the real world, but us older collectors who prefer the retro feel and look, the simplistic colors, the simplistic paint scheme, it is just a natural part of this whole collecting thing for us. So please, this is fantastic. I don't know, Hasbro, or if you're thinking about, you've released a few retro figures, if you're going to think about releasing some retro vehicles or retro creatures in this style, I would not only do it, I would reach out to this guy and hire him, all right, because this was fantastic. So thank you so much for watching, guys. Just be sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification. I got plenty more videos coming. Again, we have a sale coming up. It's not really a yard sale. It's a Star Wars sale. I don't like to call it a yard sale. I have last year, if you watched my channel, I actually started doing it inside. I do it in my garage. That way I don't have to worry. I can set up days in advance, little at a time, and I don't have to worry about whether or not it rains or not. It rained every day the last sale, and it didn't matter at all. People came out, and we have plenty of parking and things of that nature. Central Jersey people, anybody in that area, if you want to come and check it out, it's going to be a lot of fun. And thanks so much for watching. Until next time, guys. Oh, check out all the other content on Red 5, Red 5 Network. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. Until next time, may the Force and the toys be with you.